Good morning. Today we're talking about racing, but before we do that, hit the subscribe button and let's roll the intro. So yeah, racing, typical. It's the first race that's been available in the Scottish calendar and we've picked up a cold. Not ideal. We weren't able to do any of our pre-race ride yesterday at all. Still in doubt as to whether we'll race tonight. We'll see. We'll see how the day goes. So essentially, today's video is going to be about the day. What have we got to do today? What is our race prep like? And yeah, I thought I'd just take you on the journey of what today is. So first things first, let's go grab a cup of tea. So, cup of tea in hand. First thing we've got to do today is we've got to make up our bidons. Now, every day we have 4 bidons, mixed them with some beta-alanine. So recommended dose is about 6 grams per day. It can give you a tingling feeling in your arms, mostly around the face. It's almost like a sort of semi-paralysis feeling. What I found is if I take the full dose, then yes, it comes on super strong. I'm obviously quite prone to that feeling, that sensation. So what I found the best thing to do is I mix up my 6 grams with 400 mils of water, and then I spread that 400 mils across my 4 bidons, fill up the bidons, drink my bidons throughout the course of the day, so I'm getting my beta-alanine intake, but I'm not getting this horrible feeling. So that's the first thing we've got to do, and then we're going to crack on with some breakfast. So, bidons all done. Obviously what I'll try to do is I drink 4 of these every single day to make sure I've got my water intake on point. Breakfast this morning, because we're racing tonight, it's going to be pretty simple. I mean, to be fair, breakfast is pretty simple every day, but today we're going to do some scrambled eggs. So a couple of eggs with some extra egg white added, and that just reduces the fat intake by not using all of the eggs, and increases the protein intake by using the egg whites. We're going to stick that on a bagel. So we've got a good amount of carbs coming in for that breakfast, with a good amount of protein and a tiny little bit of fat. So yeah, let's get cooking. Okay, so breakfast done. We now need to go and do some work, so I'm not going to take you there because, well, you don't get to see what I'm doing. What we do need to do before we do that, though, is we need to sort out our fueling for the rest of the day. So, as you probably know, if you've been watching the channel for a while, we are working with a nutritionist, both in order to lose some weight, but also, and more importantly, to work on fueling for training, racing, etc., recovery, blah, blah, blah. So today's race, it's a 40-minute crit with a 20-minute standard British cycling warm-up. So we're probably going to expend somewhere in the region of 600 to 800 calories. So for that, what we want today is equal or above 100 and... what is it again? It's 140 grams of carbs, equal or above 25 grams of protein, minimal fibre, and that needs to be 3 to 4 hours prior to the race start. 3 hours pre, we will also do our final 2 shots of the beetroot nitrate, which we've been taking for the last 6 days, both morning and night, so 8 o'clock and 8 p.m. And then also 90 minutes, is it 90 minutes? Yes, no, 50 minutes. I need to double check. I think it's 50 minutes prior to the race. We will also take 300 milligrams of caffeine. Now the caffeine will only take if the double shot of nitrate sits well in the belly. As you probably know, again, if you've watched the channel for a while, we do suffer from IBS, so we do have to be conscious of certain things which upset our gut. So, back to the fueling. 140 grams of carbs. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do 200 grams of white rice, 400 mils of pineapple juice, and 1 bagel, but we're going to do a plain bagel rather than the wholemeal bagel that we just had for breakfast. So, before we jump in and get on with our work, we've got to get that cooked and ready, so then it's sitting there ready to grab, because the time that we need to be eating will be the same time that we need to pick up the kids from school. So, best laid plans and all that, we get everything prepped before, and then it's all good to go. What we're also going to do while we're doing that is we're just going to make a bowl of, What we're also going to do while we're doing that is we're just going to make a pot of soup, because, as I said, the kids are back today from their mums and they love to have some homemade soup, so I'm going to make some homemade soup. It's also good for me as well because it sits nice in the belly. So, back into the kitchen. Here we are, back in the kitchen. Just a little joke. Let's crack on and get the pre-fueling made. Zoom. So there we go, that is the rice done. It's there just cooling. So 80 grams of dry white long grain rice, boiled up very fast, makes about 200 grams of cooked rice. So we'll let that cool. On the stove, there is the soup. That's now going to come up to the boil, and then we're going to simmer that a couple of hours, and then we'll blitz it. Now we have to go and do some work. So, as I said, I'm not going to take you to my work, although it is just through, like, there. It's a very short commute. But I will catch up with you after I've got my work done, because we've got some other stuff that we still need to do. We need to get the bike ready. We need to get our bag packed, and yeah, so catch you in a little bit.
Several days later.
Welcome back. So, what should have been an update on how the race went, well, it didn't. As I said at the start of the video, I was struggling with the cold and I decided to pull out of last week's race. That's right, this is now next Thursday. Unfortunately, we didn't get selected. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way that most Scottish races work. It's organisers select participants, and unfortunately, I did not get selected. So tonight, well, we don't want to miss the opportunity to race, because at the end of the day, the racing is also helping us improve through our training. So we're going to jump onto Zwift, where we could be, fingers crossed, going for 3 wins out of 3 races. Let's jump into Zwift and let's see how the action unfolds tonight. That tiny little rise there, you can see my weight clearly impacting, dropping off the back despite putting a nice little red dig. Then obviously this little downhill section, my weight works in my favour. And I can just coast through the wheels. Okay, here's the first of the little ramps I was telling you about. Up and into the volcano. Fortunately, picked up a feather. We can drop that here. See the size of our avatar change almost immediately. With that drop in weight because of the feather. Still got a big red effort to get up the climb, but obviously with the feather, we get up easier. That little climb, can't even call it a climb, we'll call it a ramp. That little ramp, strung things out. There's another little one here, not quite as severe. Rising up to the start-finish line. We finally finished the lead-in. Almost 5k. Again, another little tiny rise there. Because of our weight, we've just got to squeeze on just a little bit. Get up and over this rise. Make sure we're still on the wheels. Then we can relax a little bit on this downhill. Just like outdoors, we take as many micro rests as we can get.
Good timing. 2.5k to go. Kids are just back in from the park. Perfect. Finish this race and we'll sit down and have dinner. Not convinced. Not convinced about the legs, but it'd be nice if we were able to sit down for dinner, a big smile on our face, get the result. I'm not sure. Feel a little bit heavy, especially up and out the saddle, which is where I'm going to have to be in the final K. With no power up, it's going to be difficult. Not got it. Not. Not got it. We'll take 9th on the line. So there we go. We didn't get the third win on the trot. I don't think even having the feather that we wanted would have made a difference. The winner was too far in front, and then just nothing, especially in the left quad actually. Just no power to give, no power to try and kick. Is what it is though. Good little training session. Then onwards towards Sunday. We're going to drive down to Doncaster. Geared up CN Cycles crit race. 4-hour drive for a 40-minute race. However, we're going to double up, do 2 races with 1 in between. So 40-minute race, 40-minute rest. Well, actually an hour by the time you add on the 10 minutes pre, 10 minutes post, and then another 40-minute race, and then we'll drive back up. So fingers crossed. This was a good little effort for the legs. We'll rest them tomorrow, we'll stretch them, do an easy spin on Saturday morning, and then 9 AM we'll see how the legs can perform outdoors. We're just going to use it up to 20k, then we'll jump off. But yeah, that'll be it then for me, so thanks for joining in. Not quite the result we wanted, but at the end of the day, good training for the outdoors racing. Still managed to get 2 back-to-back wins. 3 was probably asking a bit too much. Especially when one of the wins was earlier on this week already. In fact, what was it? 2 days ago, Tuesday night. But yeah, that's it for me, so as ever, keep your hands clean, take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you soon. Some more racing on Zwift. Right on.